Good day and welcome to the delight of photography. This is the second talk in our new series about travel photography, how you can get the best value possible out of your travel photography. So it's really good to have you with us. If you've just joined, really good. It would be good to click on subscribe at the bottom right hand corner, which means that you will understand as we broadcast extra videos in this particular series. So take your time and just enjoy what we're going to talk about now, because we're going to start following on from the first talk. We're going to start discussing how you can characterize or sort out your images to make it easy to put your travel show together. Because get full value from your travels, that's a whole approach. Make sure that you can look at your images when you get home and really enjoy them. Travel photography, capturing where you have been. Think about security, depending where you are traveling in the world, but you might be an obvious target if you've got a big camera, because it's for many people that represents almost a whole year's income. And don't get so engrossed in taking your pictures that you become oblivious to your surroundings. Always be aware and always keep your bags and equipment attached to you. If you're sitting at a cafe, make sure that your foot is through your strap of your camera bag or whatever. Make it difficult for people to maybe borrow them. And try not to flaunt and try to be as inconspicuous as possible. My own personal approach is when I'm using my camera with a lens hood on, I take the lens hood off, because somehow lens hood equals professional equals valuable camera. Just keep that in mind as you're wandering around wherever you might be. Just look around as you walk and enjoy being somewhere different. And you look for photo opportunities that you didn't plan, that you just see and you really say, oh, that looks good, I'll take that. Reflections in a building, not anticipated. Amazing, the square has got this huge billboard because they're revamping the building. St. Mark's Square, and it just happens with no people, so that makes a special picture, so you take the picture. Or you see this collection of scooters. Wow, I mean, it's amazing. Slices of local life is what you're looking for. So let's talk about making pictures rather than taking pictures. I know it's a corny approach, but it's real, because you make the pictures that you take. They don't just look at you. You make them, and you want to make sure that it says, I was there and I saw them, rather than I was there. Because you're effectively, as we said, sketching a series of portraits of your travels. Slices of local life. Guys in a boat. Interesting. Gondolier. Vaporetto. Pilot. Just sitting and reading his newspaper. In the background, somebody reading a book. But you want it to be interesting and meaningful to you as well as your viewers. Your main focus is you. It's primarily for you to enjoy when you revisit your cruise whenever you feel like it. If you show it to other people and they enjoy them as well, that's great. Remember the theory about 20 pictures, but maybe if you do it in a different way, you can show them more. But it's all about getting value from your holiday, just to emphasize that once again. Your picture should add up to more than just a hard drive full of random images. Random images can be fun, but you want them to be meaningful. There should at least be a certain continuity or chronological progression to your travel pictures, so as you develop your particular trip. And the big plus with digital photography is that your camera stores exit information along with each image. That includes the date and the time and also what camera it was and what lens you've used, all sorts of things. So it makes if you're using two cameras, like a camera and a smartphone, your computer will sort, you put them all together and the computer will sort them all into the right order. Fascinating. It's important because if you use more than one camera, it's quite a headache sometimes trying to put them into the right sequence. There are all sorts of software packages to help you sort and keep track of your images. Use the one that came with your camera, or maybe something like Lightroom, or experiment, because there are lots of free photo editing or photo organizing courses that you can get. Google photo organizing and it'll give you lots of different options. So give some thought to your recipe. As we mentioned in the first talk, we're talking about developing a recipe with a whole list of ingredients. And recipes are important, particularly if you're a cook, but it tells you what you're going to get and where you're going to put them and how you mix them. So, to start off with, decide for yourself what particular subjects you think are going to be interesting. So we've got a whole selection that I'm going to show you, which may apply to you, or you may wish to add others as well. But you need to plan it in advance. So you've got everyday living, and a sort of subsection is markets. Because whenever you travel, you will see markets. Whenever you travel, markets. Food markets, fresh fruit markets, indoor markets, outdoor markets, spice markets, fish markets, and sometimes the people doing the cutting and serving are just as interesting. Fruit market indoors, meat markets, food serving, fruit juice produced for you, all sorts of, if there's an outdoor market, you'll find all sorts of things for sale. Flowers. Sometimes you get street markets where there are all sorts of second-hand goods for sale. Look at the size of this particular market. Or just markets in general. There are all sorts of things that you can take images of markets. Sweets. Shoes. And you see little snaps of life when you're walking around the markets. Bags, baskets. Colourful. Anything that's colourful is worth capturing. Colourful. So what you do, you would have your list of different subjects that you think you may want to capture, and you can obviously add to it as you walk around. So as you walk around, you'll be taking pictures. In this particular instance, whenever you see a market, you'll take a picture of the market. Or the next section we look at is artists, just for debate purposes. Artists can be fascinating. All sorts of facial expressions, all kinds of pictures, interests. Whole selection of different people and different paintings, reflecting on the paintings. Painting people's portraits. Painting a specific portrait of a lady. Artists walking along and going to display their merchandise. People doing street painting. I mean, think about the amount of work that's involved here. These people draw on the street the most amazing artworks. Think of the work, think of the detail, and think what happens if it rains. But you can see some wonderful images. Graffiti. Graffiti goes without saying, there's so much graffiti. But you must be selective in terms of what graffiti you take. But graffiti can be a section of artists for you, depending how you want to organize your images. And of course you get sand artists. If you happen to be down at the beach, and sand artists are just wonderful. So the thought is, you plan, and we will develop this further, and the talk's coming as well. You decide on what subject you're going to take. If you really want to be efficient, you have your laptop with you on your walk wherever you are. Each evening you take all the markets and you put it into a particular folder, or you take artists and put it into a folder, and then we'll tell you later on exactly how you make use of those particular folders. But thank you for joining us for Talk 2. We've got Talk 3 coming up next week, and we'll continue to cover thoughts about how you categorize your particular travel photography. So once again, thank you for joining us. Hope you're enjoying this, and I look forward to seeing some of your travel pictures as we go along. Travel photography, where we've been and how we remember it. Get full value from your travels. That's our theory. Get full value from your travels. Thanks very much for joining me, and I appreciate your time. Take care, and we'll see you again.